My world shattered. My brother is actually my fiancé's child. My fiancé is 25 years old male. I am 24 years old female. I've been together since we were 17, 18 years old. Honestly, he was always kind, handsome, funny, and everyone used to say I was so lucky to have the whole package. I felt so lucky too. He always treated me with love and respect, so this makes everything just so shocking for me. I have always had a good relationship with my mom. It has always been her and I against the world. My dad died in an accident when I was little. We always joked we are the real life Rory and Lorelei from Gilmore Girls. My mom dated guys on and off and they were usually cool, but nothing really past the early stages. Around 4 years ago my mom told me she was pregnant, which was a huge surprise. My mom was around 42 years old, and although she was sort of dating someone recently, didn't meet the guy but knew she went on dates, it still was a big shock. She never thought she could be pregnant at her age. She had me when she was super young and Sophie, and I can tell she was stressed and worried. I decided to support her, since she has always supported me, and tried to reassure her. She then had my brother, who is now 3 years old. I have a close relationship with my brother. I have helped taken care of him since he was born, and I just love the little guy. My fiancé was also always helpful with my brother. We would take him out for ice cream, playground, pool time during summer, etc. But nothing was weird. He was just my then BS, spending time with my brother and I, now to how I found out. My fiancé and I lived together since we finished college. My fiancé was not at home since he was hanging out with friends, but I was home BC. I didn't feel like going out and just wanted to chill on my sofa. At some point, during binge watching a series on Netflix, my laptop died and I was too lazy to go get my charger, so I just took my fiancé's iPad. I know the password, but honestly never used it before. The iPad logged in and I got a bunch of messages pinging. I guess he hasn't used it in a while too. Anyway, this got my attention and I went to check it out, and off I found everything. My mom's number wasn't under her name, but I recognized the number and verified it with my phone. She was telling him she felt guilty and that I should know. He said he also felt guilty but couldn't lose me, and they ***** he it up. She said that it was unfair for my brother to never not know his dad, and that if he could live having his son around, not behaving like a dad but a brother-in-law. I broke down. What the actual F? There weren't a lot of older messages, just some photos stored of my brother as a newborn, my mom pregnant, and more photos of my brother growing up in an album. I couldn't anymore. I cried for what seemed ages, and I wait for my BF to come back home. I wish I was one of those women that can pretend and get things together before confronting the cheater, but I can't. He came back later that night around 23:30, and I just gave him the iPad with the conversation opened and saw his face completely go pale. I asked for an explanation when. Oh. Why? And he didn't want to at first, but knew he had to. Apparently a few years back while I was traveling with some friends, girls tripped my fiancé and mom had dinner together. This isn't strange since he has been part of the family for so long. Sometimes mom and fiancé would eat together at our place even if I was busy with sports or out. I did the same with his parents. Somehow unclear how, since he couldn't explain it, well, one thing led to another and they ended up sleeping together. They felt guilty, but apparently not guilty enough. BC they slept together 2-3 more times, using the excuse of meeting up to discuss how to tell me. Apparently when my mom got pregnant, they stopped sleeping together and decided to not tell me, since my fiancé loved me and couldn't lose me, and my mom didn't want to lose her daughter. So here we are now with two of the most disgusting humans. I obviously broke the engagement, told my mom to never talk to me again, and move in with a friend. I feel bad for my brother since I really love him, but I can't be around him now. I just can't. I feel like it would remind me of all those times we talked about having kids. I would be his baby mama, only baby mama. We talked about this future since we were 17 years old, so I will puke every time I think how I was actually taking care of his child with someone else, while still having those dreams. I want to puke. Editor's note: comments were mostly supportive, with a few telling their own stories of cutting parents off and a couple with tales of spouses sleeping with parents. How is this even a thing? People be crazy. Now it's time for update. First I want to thank everyone for the nice messages and comments. I was not expecting so much support. I'm still a mess, not gonna lie, but after reading the comments I felt better, like a therapy mini session, so again thank you all. To the update. As I was afraid, I was indeed confronted near my office this week. I knew this was coming but thought maybe I had more time. My ex was the person to come find me. Yesterday, Wednesday, after finishing work and walking to where my car was parked, my ex was sort of lingering, waiting around. I thought about running, not gonna lie, but I guess in the moment I felt strong enough to get over with it, instead of having that hanging above my head waiting to be approached again. He asked if we could talk and I said yes, but I didn't feel like having that conversation over coffee like we were old friends. It felt ridiculous, so I told him to just talk. Right there we were in the streets, but somehow it wasn't crowded, but also not completely lonely. Felt right. He basically said sorry 100 times, and that I deserved better. I agreed. He said he did love me and that he still does, but he would understand why I wouldn't want anything to do with him. He said that if I did in fact consider giving him a chance, that he would go to therapy, alone or together or both, and that he would work hard to win my trust back. I told him it wasn't possible, there was too much damage. This sounds calm when I type it, but in a moment things came out more with louder tone and harsher words. Anyways, he did say that he is in awe, albeit it was a bit of a blur process of getting custody, partly from my brother, and that he in fact does want to be a dad to him. He said he does not want to be together with my mom, that it was just a stupid mistake. Sure, BC forming us 5 times, mistake is just a random thing. He couldn't explain why he did it in the first place. I think he doesn't even know himself. I asked if he cheated with someone else before. He said no, not sure if to believe it, but he sounded honest. I asked why he didn't come clean, and he said that after he did the deed he always felt panicked and it hits him that he could lose me and he just didn't want to. I told him it was meant to be found out, that what was his plan? To have my brother around and ignore their relationship forever. He said he didn't think far enough and that he was basically going with the idea one day at the time type of survival. I asked him if he felt that my mom seduced him. He said it was mutual, which made me want to puke again. I asked if he has any contact with my mom since I found out. He said yes, but mostly about my brother, didn't elaborate more, and I didn't press for more info on that. He said he told his parents the day before that, not sure, on Tuesday, about everything. The parents were not happy, but they are glad to start building now a relationship with my brother, their grandkid. Honestly, all of this felt like a punch in my stomach. I don't know why. The parents wanted to contact me, but he told them to wait till he approached me first, hence why he was here. I said if he started or thought about the custody before I found out, and he said no, but when I found out was like the push he needed. Great. Seems I helped him get his shit together, and this past week he was arranging all of that mess, that's why he hasn't tried to see me before. He saddened and looked defeated, but the whole thing made me besides that angry. I was mainly depressed before, but now I'm furious. I feel like he is still in an okay place and he isn't paying for his actions beyond me leaving him. He will have my brother, his parents and others and move on with his life, while I lost everything. I hate him. We parted ways not on a happy note, and I told him to never get near me again. I was done. He asked me to see my brother still, that I was important to him, and tried to guilt trip me, and it worked, but I still think I can't. I don't know much about my mom and really hope she doesn't come find me anytime soon. BC, I'm fuming right now and won't be able to handle it. I will be contacting my family and friends and finally doing the blasting today. I think it's about time, and after my talk with him I got the extra push I needed. Editor's note: top comment suggested moving to Australia. Can't fault that line of thinking. Second update. Hi everyone. Again, I want to say thanks for all the support on my last update. Honestly, like I said in my previous post, it really helped me a lot emotionally, all your comments and also all the advice I got, that being about moving abroad or what to say when I do the blast. Thank you. A lot has happened. I did the blasting and this is how it went down. I first posted on my family's FB group we share. This is from my mom's family side. I used inspiration of what you all suggested in my last post and said something around the lines of, I want to communicate to you all that my wedding with ex has been permanently cancelled, since I found out that my mom name and my ex name had in the last few years a sexual relationship which resulted in the birth of my little brother name. I had no clue of any of this, and I found out about it last week. I won't have moving forward a relationship with name mom and ex name for obvious reasons. I would appreciate your understanding, and I felt it was only fair to let you know of the situation, since I value transparency and honesty above all. I also included a screenshot of my mother's message, what I said to her once I found out, and a message she managed to write back before I blocked her. Didn't open the message till before the blasting. I didn't want to hear her and be persuaded. It exploded. I had family reaching out via text and calling the whole day after the blasting. I would say most were very supportive, and I could tell they were just shocked. There were a few neutral and some suspicious that it wasn't the whole story and maybe I misunderstood. My grandparents were in the maybe you misunderstood category, which it wasn't surprising since my mom is super close to my grandparents, and like I said before, my mom was always a good mom. So no red flags. I will be moving with a cousin that is more like a sister to me. I haven't reached out to her previously. BC, anyone she knows, everyone would. That's why I went to my friend's place. My cousin is devastated on my behalf and offered I live with her and our 2 kids until I can get my feet on the ground. I accepted and will be moving next week. I'm a bit afraid this will give my mom an easier access to me, but I can't stay at my friend's place forever. I then proceeded quickly to post a similar message from I we share most of our friends since high school and local university friends on Instagram. I created a close friends story and tagged most of them too. This went sort of viral in our friend group. Actually, one of my friends sent me my Reddit post and asked if this was me. I confirmed. They were also shocked and speechless. They never thought my ex would even remotely do anything like this. They said he was crazy about you. Oh well, apparently he went overboard on the crazy part. The group of friends is divided ATM, some are completely on my side and some are thinking it isn't the whole truth. I told everyone that reached out that if they don't believe me to ask their friend if he is asking for custody of my little brother, that kinda shut them up for now. My ex deleted his social media apparently. Also my ex's parents called me like I guessed they would. They were kind to me and were very sorry about everything. I got the feeling they were also overwhelmed and very disappointed. However, it was clear they will be supporting their son. They are very upset at my mother and don't want anything to do with her, but not sure how that will work with my little brother and everything else. They tried to give me info about the custody and what is my ex up to now, but I shut that down quickly and told them I don't want any info, I want to move on. I also asked them to not reach out in the near future, that I need a distance, especially if they will be supporting my ex. He is living with his parents at ATM. Also my ex and my mother after the blast were going nuts trying to reach out to me. They tried calling my friend who she blocked them and reaching out from different numbers. I had to put my phone on silence and ignore everyone. However, my mother sent me a long text from another number, and that was a weird text. She said that I was being cruel and that she didn't think she raised me that way. She said she thought we had a better relationship than me blasting out laundry like that without talking to her first. That I didn't have the whole picture. She did mention something that confused me. She said in her long-ass text that the reason she slept with my ex is because he reminded him of my dad. That it was grief. That she didn't mean to use him to heal her pain, but she wasn't strong enough. I don't even know what that means. Like, did she think that my ex looks physically like my dad? Or personality? Or what? I have seen photos of my dad, and well, my ex isn't super different, but also not super alike. I mean, they share brown/dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, but that's not so uncommon. I don't see what else. I don't know. That threw me for a loop and honestly makes me want to confront my mom just to know what the hell. From all the things she could say, I was not expecting that. I'm holding on better. I don't cry every hour or want to murder them. But I'm still sad and upset and it just feels like it isn't my life. That is a big joke or a bad dream and I will wake up to my normal life. I also need to really start planning my future and start applying for jobs in other cities, or maybe check the possibilities abroad more seriously. I might ask for 2-3 days off work to really get my thought together and do some research. I'm terrified TBH. I feel frozen, but I know I need to start moving. Quick update. My group of friends is divided. Some of his closest friends have been saying that I should give him another chance, that no one is perfect, but he loves me, that he was always good to me and I shouldn't just turn my back on him. They even said that Max, little brother, and I could be a perfect little family and that I could make sure that my little bro has a good stepmom, who better than his blood relative, right? This is so bullshit. They are talking like he messed up on something minor or even medium. Like he lied about getting laid off work, or like he forgot to pay our bills for a month, like WTF. I have some girlfriends that are complete on my side and supporting me, which is nice. But our group friend isn't solid anymore and everyone is taking sides. I did have a conversation with Max on the phone though. I admit I had a bit to drink that night since I was coming back from meeting some friends for dinner and I had a few glasses of wine and a cocktail. But I remember the talk. Disclaimer, this is not the exact conversation, but I will put what I remember on the best of my abilities. Me, do you think that you were groomed? Max, I never thought of that, but maybe. Me, how did you even get the crush on my mom? I thought we always hung out in a group, and my mom wasn't really the more than a few men in passing by. Was it looks? Max, yes and no. I thought she was pretty, and therefore the teen crush, but I then also tried to talk to her by passing through your house and ask if you were there. He knew I wasn't and then had a chat with your mom. Me, was I always second choice? Max, no you are now me, and back then, when you asked me to be RGF. Max, silence me. Tell me the truth please Max, I don't know. I did like you, but I still had the crush. Me, do you want to be with her now? Max, God, no. Me, why did you do it, Max? Get her out of your system? So you still wanted her? Did you want her during the times we had sex? Max, no, don't. I only wanted you. I don't know. I felt like those YOLO moments. I thought I would give my teen self what he always wanted. I felt so stupid. Me, then why did you do it more times? Max, I really don't know. We were silent a lot and not long after we hung up. It was a short call and honestly emotional. I was sort of drunkish and he seemed emotionally drained too. I feel stupid for opening up and calling him and asking those questions. I said 1,000 times I don't want to know more, but I was weak. Every time I feel like moving on I get hit again by everything. My brain can't understand yet. On my mum front, well, not a lot has happened. She continues to try to fix it. My grandparents reached out to me but I didn't answer. I'm sure they were trying to give me support, so... Update 19.8 I'm moving. August 18th, 2024, 16 days from last post, 49 from OG post, 9 days ago. Hi everyone, so I'm finally here with an update and a good one at that. I'm moving to Spain. I got the job as an au pair near one of the biggest cities in Spain. I'm so excited. I'm flying in a few days and starting 1.9 editor's note. Took me way too long to realize that the day is first, not the month, so this is September 1st. Curse my American centered date standards and my dyslexia with the family. The kids are adorable too. I will be learning Spanish too, which I always wanted to do anyway, so it all feels like heaven sent. I haven't told almost anyone about it, just a few friends I trust and of course my cousin who I live with. Also my boss. My mother has been telling people I'm being mean to her when she wants to fix everything. She made a mistake and is trying to fix it, but I am being difficult. She is just human. Not surprising. I'm now really coming to terms on how self-centered she is and has always been. I'm sad I lost the mom I thought I had. Feels like if she died. My new therapist Jess, I got one the last week, said I'm grieving. Max has left me a bit alone since the last call we had. I heard he is focusing on my little brother and just staying under the radar. I have had some short phone calls with my little brother which has been bittersweet, but he is doing okay. He of course doesn't know what's really happening, but he is happy with having a new dad. It doesn't hurt as much as it did before, but still hurts.